Sit back and enjoy an hour of fascinating facts you didn't know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. During World War II, in 1942, Polish soldiers adopted Wojciech, a brown bear cub. He became part of the artillery supply company and learned to march, salute, and carry ammunition boxes. After the war, Wojciech spent the rest of his life at the Edinburgh Zoo, Scotland. He reached the rank of corporal for his merits, becoming an emblematic figure of courage and camaraderie. Hummingbird feathers are extremely small, with some measuring only a few millimeters in length. The smallest hummingbird, the bee hummingbird, has feathers that are almost the size of a penny. Belgian draft horses are known for their great strength and ability to pull heavy loads. There are demonstrations where you can see these horses pulling large amounts of weight, including several people as in this video. Japanese airlines such as Japan Airlines stand out for their meticulous attention to handling their customers' luggage. They implement strict and detailed policies to ensure that luggage is treated with the utmost care. In comparison, in other countries the attention and care with which luggage is handled can vary significantly, which can lead to less satisfactory experiences for travelers. On the island of Yap in Micronesia, money is made of stones called rai. These stones are large limestone discs with a hole in the center. Their value depends on their size and the history associated with them. The larger and more historical they are, the more valuable they are. The inhabitants know the owners of all the large stones, and due to their size and weight, the stones are rarely moved. In a transaction with a very large rai, the new owner agrees that the stone will remain in the same place as long as it is recognized that it belongs to him. This is what it looks like to lift 512 kilograms in a deadlift. Brian Shaw is considered one of the strongest men in the world. He was the first man to win the Arnold Strongman Classic and the World's Strongest Man contest in the same calendar year, a feat he achieved in 2011 and then replicated in 2015. Hypertrichosis, also known as werewolf syndrome, is an extremely rare condition characterized by excessive hair growth all over the body. Only about 50 cases of congenital hypertrichosis lanuginosa, the rarest variant of the syndrome, have been documented since the Middle Ages. How many Big Macs would you eat in a week? Surely not as many as Donald Gorsk, an American with a world record for having consumed more than 36,000 Big Macs in his entire life. This man ate his first McDonald's hamburger in 1972 and since then has not stopped devouring up to 8 a day, keeping the receipt and the box of each one of them. The most impressive thing is that, even with this diet, he is in good health. The Rulia tuberosa plant has a surprising mechanism for dispersing its seeds. When these seeds come into contact with water, they explode to spread. This dispersion process ensures that the seeds have a greater chance of germinating in different areas, helping the species to spread. In 1924, a game of human chess was played in Leningrad, now St. Petersburg, between two grandmasters that lasted 5 hours and ended in a draw. This event was a remarkable demonstration of the game of chess, with each move made by actors dressed as chess pieces on a giant board. Razorfish have a unique swimming style, moving vertically with their head down. This curious style allows them to camouflage themselves among the aquatic vegetation, resembling leaves floating in the water. In this way, they avoid predators and stealthily approach their prey. In addition, razorfish are adaptable and can live in various aquatic environments, such as rivers, lakes, ponds, and aquariums. Horses' teeth never stop growing due to their diet rich in herbs that requires many hours of daily chewing, between 8 and 12 hours. This constant dental wear and tear has led to an evolution in the teeth of horses, allowing them to have hypsodont teeth, that is, teeth that grow continuously. Thus, horses can maintain their ability to feed themselves properly throughout their lives. Despite being land animals, star-nosed moles can smell underwater. They exhale bubbles of air over the object they want to sniff, and then inhale them again through their nose. This unique ability allows them to detect prey and food in aquatic environments, standing out as one of the few mammals with this ability. This is how carpet pythons climb trees. Unlike other snakes that climb slowly, carpet pythons wrap their body around the tree to propel themselves with agility. These snakes live in Australia, Indonesia, and Papua New Guinea, measure between 2 and 4 meters long, and their diet consists of small mammals, bats, birds, and lizards. An ascetic monk in India has taken rice cultivation to a completely new level on his head. He planted rice on his scalp and sleeps sitting up to ensure that the plants grow healthy. He pays attention to his skin to know when they need water, thus staying hydrated and ensuring adequate watering. He harvests, eats, and replants the rice. He claims that his head is a symbol of vitality and spirituality, showing harmony between man and nature. Starfish do not have a brain. Instead, they have a nervous system distributed throughout their body. This network of interconnected nerves extends from their central body to their limbs. This system allows them to respond to stimuli and coordinate their movements without the need for a centralized brain. Thanks to this adaptation, starfish can move and react effectively in their marine environment. In Asia, macaques have been observed using railings as slides. This behavior has been documented in several macaque species, especially in urban or tourist areas where they have access to human structures. This is the size of a great white shark's jaw compared to that of its distant cousin, the megalodon. In this other photo, you can see their teeth. The smallest one belonged to a current great white shark, the one in the middle to a great white shark from a few thousand years ago, and finally the one in the back. This one belonged to a megalodon. Meet Kathy Sullivan, a pioneer in exploration. She was the first American woman to perform a spacewalk in 1984 during a NASA mission. In 2020, at 68 years old, she became the first woman to reach the deepest point of the ocean, the Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench, at almost 11 kilometers deep. So far, she is the only person who has achieved both feats, standing out as a unique figure in the history of exploration. Although Mount Everest is a remote place, every day long lines of hikers are seen trying to reach the summit. Unfortunately, this has led to the accumulation of huge amounts of trash, even in the vicinity of the peak. The large influx of visitors has negatively impacted this majestic natural environment, turning Everest into a place of beauty and challenge, but also a reminder of the need for conservation and environmental responsibility. The sky of our planet is blue due to a phenomenon called Rayleigh scattering. The Earth's atmosphere scatters sunlight in all directions, and since blue light has shorter waves, it is scattered more than the other colors. Therefore, when we look at the sky, we predominantly see the color blue. In space, without an atmosphere, light is not scattered and the sky appears black because there are no particles that diffuse sunlight. Not all monarch butterflies have the same life expectancy. Generally, they live from 2 to 6 weeks, but the fourth generation, which is the one that migrates south in search of warmer places, lives between 6 and 8 months. He is Finn Jackson. He is a sculptor and artist of the ancestral Japanese technique of origami. With just one sheet and different folds, he creates beautiful masks that transport you to different moments in history. These refer to characters or are simply created thinking about the moments he is living. In the year 2018, the Russian branch of Domino's Pizza made a promotion with which they promised 100 free pizzas a year to those who got a tattoo of the company's logo. However, just 2 days after having launched the promotion, they began to receive photographs of hundreds of fans of the brand who had fulfilled the challenge. Because of this, Domino's Pizza put more rules. They would only accept the first 350. In addition, they specified the size of the tattoo and the allowed parts of the body. The Dutch artist Bernd Notsmilde has developed a technique to create clouds in indoor spaces. He uses a mixture of smoke and vapor, controlling the temperature and humidity to form clouds that last only a few seconds, enough time to be photographed. He began this research in 2010 and has perfected his weather manipulation technique to achieve real cloud effects indoors. Aspen trees can grow to about 15 meters tall and are known for developing marks on their bark that resemble eyes. These marks, caused by fallen branches, create a distinctive appearance on the trunks of the aspens. The sensation of butterflies in your stomach is caused by the activation of the sympathetic nervous system during situations of stress or intense emotion. By releasing adrenaline, the body redirects blood from the digestive system to the muscles to prepare for quick action. This decrease in blood flow to the stomach and intestines is what causes the butterfly sensation. Both fear and falling in love can trigger this physiological response. The Vatican is the largest owner of gold in the world with 60,000 tons, which represents 30% of all the gold extracted in history. This is double the amount of gold that all the countries in the world have in reserve together. For most of the last 1,000 years, the Catholic Church has taken a dominant position that has allowed it to control gold markets all over the world, to such a degree that it is capable of eradicating world poverty twice. Worker bees are all female and are responsible for collecting nectar and pollen, as well as building and maintaining hives. In addition, they perform other essential tasks in the hive, such as feeding the larvae and defending the colony. Their tireless work ensures the survival and functioning of the hive. Sand from the Sahara Desert can cover the icy mountains of the Pyrenees in Europe. This phenomenon, although infrequent, occurs when dust from the Sahara is transported by air currents from North Africa and travels for many kilometers. The largest clock in the world is on the facade of the Abraj Al Bayt building in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. Each of its 4 dials measures 43 meters in diameter, and its hands measure 22 meters and 17 meters. It is 6 times larger than London's Big Ben. This imposing clock is a true icon of modern architecture. In the classic game of Pac-Man, the ghosts Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde turn blue and edible when Pac-Man eats a large pill. However, from level 18, the ghosts no longer change color and remain in their normal form. This makes the game more challenging, as Pac-Man must constantly avoid the ghosts. Ben & Jerry's has a graveyard called the Flavor Graveyard for those discontinued ice cream flavors. Located at the factory in Waterbury, Vermont, this place commemorates the flavors that are no longer available. Each flavor has a tombstone with a humorous epitaph that tells its story. Africa produces the largest amount of cocoa in the world, with Ivory Coast being the leader with 38% of the world's production. Other prominent countries are Ghana, Nigeria, and Cameroon. In Mexico, the main cocoa producers are Tabasco, which contributes more than 60% of the national production, followed by Chiapas and Guerrero. When a sheet of paper with pencil ink is submerged in water, the ink will begin to dissolve and spread. This is due to the soluble nature of many pencil inks in water. As it dissolves, the ink creates a diffusion effect in the water, where the colors and shapes mix, generating interesting and visually attractive patterns. This man found this bird preserved in ice. It was in perfect condition. It even had its eyes open. This rare event was possible thanks to several factors. It is most likely that the bird plunged into the icy water to hunt a fish. If you have ever seen a video where the water in a bottle freezes when you tap it, this is precisely what happened here. The lake water was probably below the freezing point. When the bird came into contact with it, it activated the freezing process, encapsulating it inside a solid layer of ice. In Iceland, there are no mosquitoes or ants. The extreme climatic conditions and the biological cycle of ants mean that they cannot lay eggs in that climate. As for mosquitoes, only one has been found in all of Iceland, and it was in the 1980s. The dish considered the most delicious varies depending on the culture, but sushi often stands out for its sophistication and freshness. In contrast, surströmming, a fermented herring from Sweden, is famous for its strong smell and acquired taste, which makes it one of the least appetizing for many. This is how they made the shark from the movie Jaws in 1975. This movie was very famous in the last century and is now considered a classic. But as you can imagine, filming a shark was not feasible at that time. There was no CGI or computers capable of generating a shark, so they had to do a lot of engineering work to finally create this impressive animal. In the year 2016, a gym was opened in Japan with girls dressed as maids who supported customers while they did their exercises. It is the Maid King in Tokyo. The service had a price of $7 for every 50 minutes. In addition, a sports drink and a protein shake were included. Although the whole proposal sounds a bit strange, the truth is that in Japan, cosplays of maids are very common. In Mont, a town in Cumbria County, England, the International Gurning Championship is held every year. This contest, with a tradition that dates back to 1267, brings the inhabitants of the place together to compete by making the most grotesque and funny faces. It has managed to enter the Guinness Book of Records, and the participants strive to distort their faces in the most creative ways in the name of fun and local pride. Scientists are investigating the use of squid beaks, specifically the teeth of the rings at the base of the tentacles, to replace plastic. These rings contain a protein called squidex that is elastic, flexible, and very strong. In addition, materials made from this protein have thermal properties, are self-repairing, and conduct electricity. The squids are not harmed in the process, since the proteins can be produced in laboratories using genetically modified bacteria. Meet the kukri, Bulgarian dancers who participate in traditional rituals to ward off evil spirits and attract positive energies. At the beginning of winter, they dress in striking costumes that often include elaborate masks and outfits and travel through the villages performing their ritual dances. This spectacle is both magical and protective and is an important part of Bulgarian culture and folklore. Meet the human-faced bug, scientifically called Catacanthus incarnatus. It has a shell that resembles a human face with a prominent nose. This insect lives in India and Southeast Asia and belongs to the shield bug family. This is the carnivorous plant known as the Venus flytrap, native to the United States. It has modified leaves with a serrated shape that act as traps. On the inner surface of its leaves, there are sensitive hairs that, when touched, cause the trap to close. This carnivorous plant mainly traps insects, but can also capture spiders. Once closed, the trap secretes digestive enzymes that break down and absorb the nutrients from its prey. Under the lens of a microscope, your phone screen reveals its complex structure, composed of tiny pixels. These emit light in different colors to form the images you see every day. Each pixel is made up of red, green, and blue subpixels that, when combined, produce the visible color spectrum. Meet the purple frog, also known as Nasicobatrachus sakyudrensis, which lives in the western Ghats of India. This species was discovered in 2003 and is famous for its distinctive appearance and subterranean habits. Its skin is a dark purple color and its body is chubby with short limbs. Due to its unique appearance and behavior, it is considered one of the strangest frogs in the world. For hair prostheses, a plastic mold is used as a base to place the fake hair. Once the mold is prepared, the hair is attached with a special adhesive, ensuring that the prosthesis is well secured to the user's head. This process allows for the creation of hair prostheses that look natural and offer an effective solution for those who need to cover areas without hair. This species is called Greta oto, also known as the glasswing butterfly. It belongs to the Nymphalidae family. Its wings are transparent due to the lack of colored scales in the tissue between the veins. Statues of Ronald McDonald sitting on benches have been a common feature in McDonald's restaurants for many years. These statues are mass-produced, and this is the mold they use to make them. She is Stephanie Millinger, a famous Austrian acrobat and contortionist known for her impressive skills and her ability to perform extreme acrobatics. Her performances are truly incredible, and she has gained recognition all over the world for her feats. The most troll movie in history is called Paint Drying, and that is literally what it is. It was made by Charlie Shackleton as a protest against the BBFC's censorship. Since this organization is obliged to watch the entirety of any film that is submitted, they had to watch 14 hours of paint drying on a wall. Purfish, also known as capita, have a peculiar relationship with sea cucumbers. These fish often take refuge in the rectums of sea cucumbers to protect themselves from predators. It is estimated that 86% of the Earth's species have not yet been discovered. Despite scientific advances, the planet's biodiversity remains largely a mystery. Most of these unknown species are found in less explored habitats such as the deep oceans and tropical rainforests. Scientists estimate that there are between 5 and 10 million species, but that only 2 million have been discovered. Clownfish have a symbiotic relationship with sea anemones, where both benefit. Anemones provide protection to clownfish, and the clownfish defend the anemones from potential predators. Argentina stands out as the country with the most psychologists per 100,000 inhabitants compared to the rest of the world. According to a study by the World Health Organization, the proportion reaches 222 therapists per 100,000 people. This notably high figure reflects the importance that the country places on mental health and access to psychological services. With this impressive density of professionals, Argentina leads in the emotional care and well-being of its population. Inhabitants of northwest Pakistan are forced to risk their lives to be able to cook in their homes, transporting natural gas in large plastic bags. These walking bombs are a solution to the lack of infrastructure for gas supply in their homes and the high price of energy. Koalas are known for being extremely sleepy animals. They spend most of the day resting due to their low-energy diet, composed almost exclusively of eucalyptus leaves, which are difficult to digest and provide little nutrition. To conserve energy, koalas sleep between 18 and 20 hours a day. This specialized diet and their need for constant rest make them one of the sleepiest animals in the animal kingdom. The Drift Mansion, also known as Drift Mansion, is a famous residence that has been used in numerous films and series related to the world of racing and drifting. It stands out for its modern architecture and impressive panoramic views. In addition, it has been the home of many sports car and drifting enthusiasts, a driving style that consists of sliding the vehicle at controlled angles. It is estimated that a large number of the lights we see in the night sky are formed by binary systems, that is, by two stars. These binary systems are so far from us that from our point of view they appear to be a single star. In the Chinese city of Sanya, a complex called the Beauty Crown Grand Hotel has been built that imitates the shape of a tree. This complex has 9 buildings that simulate a tree with heights that vary between 110 and 116 meters. In total, 500,000 square meters were built to house more than 6,000 hotel rooms. Hy Brasil, also known as Hy Brasil, is a legendary island that is said to be located in the Atlantic off the coast of Ireland. It appears on numerous ancient maps, but it has never been found in reality. It is said to be shrouded in mist and is only visible once every 7 years. When we cry, our eyes swell due to the accumulation of fluid in the surrounding tissues. The tear glands produce tears that, in addition to moistening the eye, can cause the blood vessels to dilate. This increase in fluid and the effort of crying cause swelling in the eyelids. It is as if the body were showing you a visible reflection of your feelings. The largest treehouse in the world is located in Tennessee, United States. This structure rises to a height of 30 meters and was built using 258,000 nails, reflecting a meticulous and dedicated work. It offers a unique experience with multiple levels, rooms, a chapel, and a bell tower, adding a mystical and spiritual touch. The construction was carried out by Horace Burgess, who dedicated years to its creation. Every corner of the house reflects his imagination and effort, offering a perfect place for contemplation and rest in the middle of nature. Diabetes occurs when the body cannot handle blood sugar properly. In type 1 diabetes, the immune system destroys the insulin-producing cells in the pancreas. In type 2 diabetes, the cells become resistant to insulin or do not produce enough of it. The result is an excess of sugar in the blood that can cause various health problems. At the North Pole, during a phenomenon known as the midnight sun, the sun remains visible 24 hours a day, from March 21st to September 23rd. That region experiences an Arctic summer during which temperatures rise and wildlife becomes more active. Conversely, during the polar winter from September 23rd to March 21st, the North Pole is in complete darkness, experiencing the polar night. These phenomena are the result of the complex interaction between the Earth's tilt and its orbit around the Sunday. According to food labeling regulations in many countries, an ice cream can only be labeled as vanilla ice cream if it contains natural essence from the vanilla plant. If an artificial flavoring is used instead, it must be labeled as vanilla-flavored ice cream. It is a good tip to pay attention to the packaging the next time you buy one. Sharks, often perceived as fierce predators, do not usually fight among themselves. Unlike some terrestrial animals, sharks do not have social hierarchies or established territories. Instead, they follow a more solitary behavior, depending on the species. Singapore is known for being one of the cleanest cities in the world thanks to its strict laws against pollution and littering. Residents and tourists must follow rules such as not chewing gum in public, not throwing trash on public roads, and not smoking in non-designated areas. In addition, the government invests in environmental education and cleaning programs, maintaining its image as a modern and environmentally friendly city. The thermal pools of Pamukkale in Turkey are famous for their terraces of white minerals that resemble frozen waterfalls. Pamukkale, which means cotton castle in Turkish, has been formed by the deposition of calcium carbonate from the thermal waters that flow down the hill, creating a spectacular landscape that has been an attraction for visitors since ancient times. This is the only resort in the world where you can sleep surrounded by elephants. The Anantara Golden is the only 65-hectare complex with transparent bubble-shaped suites from which you can see the elephants in their natural habitat. The suites are located in the heart of the Thai jungle, so you can live with the animals without disturbing them. The resort allocates a portion of its profits to contribute to the Golden Triangle Asian Elephant Foundation, which is in charge of helping and rescuing elephants in Asia. Throughout our lives, our nose is always in our field of vision, but thanks to visual suppression, the brain ignores this information. This process allows the brain to filter out unnecessary information and concentrate on the surrounding environment. Visual suppression is essential for the coherent perception of the world, preventing our vision from being obstructed by the constant presence of our own nose. The Royal Clipper is the largest sailing ship in history. This impressive sailboat has 5 masts and 42 sails, covering an area of approximately 5,000 square meters. Its majestic design and navigation capacity make it an icon in the world of sailing. In 2020, a ginger albino seal with blue eyes was discovered on Tyeliny Island, in the Sea of Okhotsk, Russia. This phenomenon is extremely rare, with a probability of approximately 1 in 100,000. These seals can be rejected by their colony due to their unusual appearance. The phenomenon known as ice eggs occurs on the beaches of Finland under specific weather conditions. These ice balls of different sizes are formed from larger pieces of ice that roll continuously with the waves. This rare and amazing phenomenon can be observed when temperatures are close to the freezing point. In 2020, a 48-year-old man in Italy went viral for walking more than 450 kilometers after an argument with his wife. He began his journey in Como and arrived at the municipality of Pesaro. He was stopped by the police after his wife reported him missing. The man made the entire journey on foot thanks to the help of people who offered him food and water. Celery is a very low-calorie food, with approximately 16 calories per 100 grams. Although it cannot be said to be a negative calorie food, it is suggested that the process of digesting celery burns a similar amount of calories to what it contains. This feature makes celery a popular option in low-calorie diets. In 2018, the cosmonaut Oleg Artemyev filmed a video of the moon setting below the Earth's horizon from the International Space Station. Due to atmospheric refraction, the moon seems to hide before reaching the edge of the horizon. This phenomenon is caused by the way the Earth's atmosphere deflects light. If you want to erase highlighter from a book, try using lemon juice and a cotton swab. Lemon juice, being acidic, can dissolve the highlighter ink. Simply dip a cotton swab in lemon juice and rub it over the ink. The atmosphere of Mars is approximately 100 times thinner than that of Earth, which causes the heat from the sun to escape quickly. This results in large temperature fluctuations between day and night. At noon on Mars, you could experience heat on your feet, close to 24 degrees Celsius, and cold on your head, around 0 degrees Celsius, due to the low density of the Martian atmosphere. Tom Tersick, an adventurer from New Jersey, traveled the world on foot for 7 years with his dog Savannah, adopted from a shelter in Austin, Texas. Savannah accompanied him throughout the trip and became the first pet to travel the entire world, forming an inseparable bond with her owner as they explored together. This is an impressive mecha suit. It is a giant robot skeleton that can be operated by a person. It was developed by a group of students at the Okinawa National College of Technology. The robotic structure measures 3 meters high and weighs about 40 kilograms. Despite looking quite good, the robot does not have many movements. Its price is about $93,000. In the Middle Ages, witchcraft was not always seen as a heresy from a Christian point of view. The original idea was that witches were figments of the people's imagination and that therefore they could not harm anyone. But over the years, various taunts and papal accusations ended up defining these practices as blasphemous acts against divinity. It was then that people accused of witchcraft began to be persecuted. The dingo, a relative of the domestic dog, is the largest terrestrial carnivore in Australia. Known for their intelligence and agility, dingoes live in hierarchical groups where each member plays a crucial role for the survival of the group. This complex social structure allows them to hunt and protect themselves effectively in their natural environment. Football is the most popular sport in the world, with more than 4 billion followers. The first FIFA World Cup was held in 1930 in Uruguay and was won by the host team. Since then, the tournament has become the most watched sporting event on the planet, with hundreds of millions of people tuning in to watch the final. Football has transcended borders, becoming a universal language. Heineken was founded in 1864 by Gerard Adrian Heineken in the Netherlands, but its global success is due to his grandson Freddie Heineken, who expanded the brand internationally. Freddie believed in the power of design, and that is why the letters E of the logo are tilted upwards to convey a friendlier image. He was also a pioneer in global marketing campaigns, highlighting the green color and the red star, iconic elements that represent the brand worldwide. In 2018, in Egypt, 17,000 divorce cases were attributed to the mobile game Candy Crush. In addition, the PlayStation video game console was cited as the cause of 250,000 divorces. This data shows how video games can affect family relationships and contribute to divorces. It is important to balance the time dedicated to video games with personal relationships to maintain family harmony. Prioritizing virtual fun over human connections can have serious consequences at home. Peanuts have applications in more unusual fields, such as the manufacture of dynamite. Peanut oil, when processed, produces glycerol, a substance that is used in the production of nitroglycerin, one of the essential elements in the composition of dynamite. This is the Argus 2, a bionic eye with which a blind person can see a little of their surroundings. Experts place an electronic implant in the patient's retina. Then, the small camera in the glasses that the user wears captures what is in front of them. In fact, a portable device connected to the glasses processes the image and sends the information to the implant, which helps the brain interpret the image. A black and white vision without details is achieved. The mystery of the mobile island in Argentina. In the Parana Delta, there is an island known as El Hoyo, notable for its almost perfectly circular shape and its apparent ability to move through the water. This phenomenon has intrigued both scientists and paranormal enthusiasts, although studies suggest that movements of underwater currents could be behind this curious behavior. The trick of the woman sawed in half has been one of the great secrets of magicians, but someone decided to bring it to light with these images created by internet users. You can get an idea of how the famous trick is done. It is about two assistants and not one. Both hide half of their body, giving the illusion that they are cut in two parts. The Shirmao Wonderland Intercontinental Hotel, also known as the Songjiang Quarry Hotel, was built inside an abandoned quarry near Shanghai, China. This luxury hotel has 337 rooms distributed over 18 floors, 2 of which are underwater. It opened its doors to the public in November 2018 and has been a milestone in architecture and hospitality. The Amazon River, with its mighty flow of water, stretches for more than 6,000 kilometers and has no bridge that crosses it. Instead, alternative means of transport such as ferries and rafts are used to cross its waters. This colossal river remains one of the most impressive natural wonders in the world due to its vast extension and powerful currents. This is the oldest piano in the world. It was made in 1720 by the pianist Bartolomeo Cristofori, an Italian musician who invented the first pianos in 1700, giving rise to the elaboration of the modern piano. Although its keyboard is short, it includes low, medium, and high tones, making it a very versatile accompaniment. This specimen has been an important model in the construction of these instruments over the last centuries. This drone was able to follow Max for a full lap at Silverstone. The XLR-3 is the fastest drone in the world, capable of reaching up to 400 kilometers per hour. The largest world map made in antiquity was hand-drawn by the Italian cartographer Urbano Monti in 1587. It measures approximately 3.30 meters in diameter and was originally composed of 60 sheets. In 2018, a team from Stanford University digitally joined the sheets to form one large map. With an area of more than 10,000 square kilometers, the Sala de Uyuni in Bolivia is one of the most extreme and wonderful landscapes on the planet. This salt desert was formed by the evaporation of prehistoric lakes. During some seasons of the year, nearby lakes overflow and a thin layer of water transforms the plain into a reflection of the sky, creating an impressive spectacle. In the 19th century, the images obtained by telescopes were of lower quality compared to the current ones. In the last 100 years, advances in optics and technology have allowed much sharper and more detailed images of space to be obtained. When we wake up, we are taller than when we go to sleep, with a difference of between 1 and 2 centimeters. This is due to the reduction of pressure on the intervertebral discs of the spine during rest. The spine is made up of vertebrae separated by these discs, which expand during the night. A person's height is determined 80% by genes and 20% by factors such as nutrition and the environment. The first smartphone was the IBM Simon Personal Communicator, launched in 1994. This device combined phone and PDA functions, including an agenda, a notepad, and the ability to send and receive emails. This innovative technology marked the beginning of the smartphone era, offering a variety of functions in a single device. The Cave of the Crystals of Nika in Chihuahua, Mexico, houses giant selenite crystals. These crystals can measure up to 12 meters long and weigh 55 tons. The cave is 300 meters below the surface and has extreme temperatures of up to 58 degrees Celsius and a relative humidity of between 90 and 99%. Due to these conditions, access is very limited and the cave is relatively unexplored. The sport of hashing originated in Malaysia in 1938 when Gisbert convinced his friends in a bar to run while drinking beer. Today, it is competed in groups of 10 people, of which 2 go ahead leaving flower trails that the rest must follow. The winning team is the first to reach the brewery from which they started with a minimum level of alcohol in their blood. The first color photograph in history was taken by James Clerk Maxwell in 1861. Maxwell used a technique known as Maxwell's triad, which consisted of taking 3 black and white photographs using red, green, and blue filters. These images were then projected using corresponding filters to recreate a color image on a screen. The tallest 3-wheeled motorcycle in the world was created from a modified Honda 3-wheeler. It was lengthened with long iron supports, which makes it a unique vehicle. However, its design does not seem to be very safe. Ninjas were secret agents in feudal Japan, acting as spies and saboteurs. Although historical ninjas no longer exist, the art of ninjutsu has been preserved and adapted in modern martial arts. There are schools that teach techniques based on traditional methods. In addition, ninjas have a strong presence in popular culture, appearing in movies, series, and video games. Their stealth techniques have also been adapted into modern security and espionage practices. 14-year-old Alina Gaskler designed a system to eliminate blind spots in cars. She used a projector, a camera, and a special 3D printed part. The camera is mounted on the outside of the vehicle and transmits images to the inside that are projected with a translucent effect, eliminating blind spots. This innovative project was presented at a science fair and won a $25,000 prize. Box turtles, belonging to the genus Terrapene, have the unique ability to close their shell completely. The bottom part of their shell, called the plastron, works like a hinge, allowing the turtle to close its shell to protect itself from predators. In the Bahamas, under the surface of the ocean, is the largest underwater sculpture in the world called Ocean Atlas. It measures 5 meters high and weighs 60 tons. Installed in 2014, this work represents the negative impacts on the marine ecosystem. It is expected to last at least 100 years and eventually become an artificial reef. Alex Roca Campillo is the first person in the world with a physical disability of 76% to complete a marathon. He achieved this feat in the Barcelona Marathon 2023. Many people think that the dial on toasters indicates minutes, but in reality, very few toasters work with a timer. In most cases, these numbers indicate the degree of toasting of the bread. In a cave in Israel, there is a stalactite and a stalagmite called Romeo and Juliet. They are extremely close, a step away from touching each other, but they never do. Microsoft designed an anechoic chamber in 2015 at its headquarters in Redmond, Washington, which is recognized as the quietest place in the world. In this space, the silence is so absolute that you can hear your own heartbeat and the movement of your bones. Most people cannot stand it for more than a few minutes due to the discomfort it generates. There was a giant frog capable of eating dinosaurs, known as Beelzebufo or the devil frog. This impressive creature lived approximately 68 million years ago in Madagascar. It was as big as a cat and had an extremely strong jaw, which allowed it to hunt and feed on small dinosaurs and other reptiles. At an archaeological site in Abydos, Egypt, the oldest known high-production brewery was discovered, more than 5,000 years old. This factory had 8 large sections, each approximately 20 meters long and half a meter deep. It is estimated that it could produce about 22,000 liters of beer. The Skitran is a suspended monorail that transports people through the Longguan Mountains in Wuhan, China. Known as the Optics Valley Photon, this line connects Yufeng Mountain with Longquan Shan Mountain. It has a length of approximately 10 kilometers and offers panoramic views of the mountains while transporting passengers. Green and black olives come from the same olive tree. Green olives are harvested before they reach full maturity, when they are green and firm. In contrast, black olives are left to ripen on the tree until they acquire a dark color and a softer texture. Thus, the difference in color and texture between the two olives is due to their degree of ripeness. This is the Firefly, a device that is automatically activated in contact with fire and extinguishes it instantly. Its advanced technology allows for a quick and effective response to emergency situations. The disappearance of all animals would have devastating effects on ecosystems. The food chain would be broken, affecting pollination and seed dispersal. This would lead to the extinction of many plants and soil degradation. Without animals, the nutrient cycle would be altered, negatively impacting biodiversity and the climate. The natural balance of the Earth would be severely affected, resulting in drastic changes in ecosystems and the global climate. From the International Space Station, astronauts have an impressive view of Earth. They can observe the curvature of the planet, the city lights at night, and the changes in the weather in real time. The station orbits the Earth at an altitude of approximately 400 kilometers and completes a lap every 90 minutes. This allows astronauts to witness up to 16 sunrises and sunsets in a single day. They can also see phenomena such as auroras and electrical storms from space. Rolls-Royce's all-electric plane, called Spirit of Innovation, completed its maiden 15-minute flight in September 2021. This plane is part of the Excel program and represents a great advance in electric aviation technology. These olives were produced more than 6,000 years ago on the coast of Israel. Researchers believe that these olives were consumed directly and were not used to produce oil, since the place of the finding was near the coast. The evidence suggests that beach water and sea salt were used to preserve the olives for longer, keeping them fresh and suitable for consumption. The world's first robotic exoskeleton for children was developed by the Spanish engineer Elena Garcia. This exoskeleton was nominated for the European Inventor Award 2022. It consists of a titanium suit that adjusts to the patient's body and is connected to a battery that powers a network of small motors with sensors. These components function as mechanical joints that adjust to the bone structure and detect subtle movements, in addition to cushioning sudden blows. In the city of Harbin, China, the fascinating ice and snow festival is held every winter. This event attracts millions of visitors from all over the world who come to admire the impressive ice and snow sculptures created by artists, as well as the dazzling light displays. The sculpture Karma, created by the artist Du Ho Su, consists of 98 sculptures placed in an ascending form and is located in places like Sydney and the New Orleans Museum of Art Sculpture Garden. The Chinese brand Oppo is known for its smartphones with fast charging capabilities. One of the most advanced models, the Oppo Find X8 Ultra, stands out for its ability to recharge the battery from 0 to 100% in approximately 30 minutes. This feature makes it one of the fastest charging phones available on the market. Meet the monowheel, a large vehicle that places the pilot inside the wheel along with handlebars, a saddle and, in modern versions, an engine. It emerged as a curiosity in the past and had its usefulness at the time. Although it was popular in its time, it stopped being used after the arrival of the automobile. On average, there are 75 liters of urine in a public swimming pool. A study in Canada analyzed the amount of urine in pools of different sizes and found that a 110,000-gallon pool contained approximately 30 liters of urine, while a 220,000-gallon one had around 75 liters. Our fingers do not have muscles, but are composed of bones, ligaments, and tendons. The muscles that control the movement of the fingers are in the forearm, and those of the toes are in the calves. The underground city of Derinkuyu in Cappadocia, Turkey, is the deepest in the world, reaching more than 85 meters deep. This architectural marvel was used almost continuously for thousands of years and could house thousands of people. Derinkuyu has tunnels, homes, wineries, and even a church, demonstrating the impressive engineering and creativity of ancient civilizations. Some airlines have equipped their planes with cameras that allow passengers to watch the takeoff and landing from their seats. These cameras are located in different parts of the plane, such as the landing gear and the tail, which transmit real-time images to the seat screens. On April 28, 1988, Aloha Airlines Flight 243 suffered an explosive decompression at 24,000 feet, detaching part of the cabin ceiling. This exposed the passengers to winds and low temperatures. Miraculously, the captain managed an emergency landing at Kahului Airport, Maui. Astonishingly, only one person lost their life in the incident. Snorlax, the Pokemon, was represented in reclining or lying-down positions in games and series until Generation 6, when it was finally shown standing up. All octopuses are venomous and use their beak, the only rigid part of their body, to inject their saliva into their prey. However, only a few species, such as the blue-ringed octopus, pose a danger to humans. The pygmy seahorse, scientifically known as Hippocampus barjabanti, is one of the smallest seahorse species in the world. Its size barely exceeds 2 centimeters. In addition, these small seahorses are known for their impressive ability to camouflage, which allows them to blend in perfectly with their environment. Some people are choosing to implant microchips in their hand with their banking information. These microchips use NFC technology, which allows payments to be made by bringing the hand closer to a contactless card reader. In the United Kingdom, at least 4,000 people have already adopted this technology that facilitates transactions quickly and conveniently. There are several artists known for creating miniatures and sculptures on the tips of pencils. One of the most famous is Dalton Gutty, who carves intricate sculptures on the lead of pencils. His meticulous and detailed work has captured the attention of many, demonstrating that art has no limits. Christina Hunger, a speech pathologist, taught her dog Stella to communicate using a button board with different words. Stella can press the buttons to express her needs and desires. Although she does not form complete sentences like a human, she is able to combine words to communicate effectively. Throwing stones into the water to make them bounce is called skipping stones. To do it well, the throw must be made at a low height with a flat, disc-shaped stone. It is important that the water is calm and there is little wind. The world record for skipping stones is 88 bounces, achieved by Kurt Steiner in 2013. In Barbados, people who turn 100 years old receive their own postal stamp with their face as a gift. The Barbados Postal Service launched a collection called Centenarians of Barbados to honor citizens who have reached the century of life. This initiative began on December 8, 2016, and includes 27 stamps in total. Methylene chloride, present in scientific toys such as the hand boiler, has a high vapor pressure. This allows the liquid to expand and rise when heated with the hand, creating a fascinating effect. This toy is popular in the educational field as it demonstrates principles of physics and chemistry in a visual and entertaining way. The rolling bridge, a curious pedestrian bridge on the Paddington Canal in London, rolls up on itself in an octagonal cocoon shape. This design allows the bridge not to interrupt the passage of boats that circulate along the canal. Thus, pedestrians can cross and boats can sail without problems. Snakes that feed on eggs, such as blind snakes, do not have teeth. They have extremely flexible jaws and necks that allow them to swallow large eggs, sometimes up to 3 times the size of their head. These adaptations allow them to consume their food without breaking the egg, since their bodies are designed to digest both the content and the shell. Camels are adapted to survive in arid environments and can spend long periods without water. Their bodies can store water and energy, and they are able to efficiently recycle the water from their system to stay hydrated for weeks in the desert. Leandro Granado is an Argentine painter with a somewhat unusual technique, eye painting. This consists of introducing paint through his nostrils and then expelling it through one of his eyes. According to him, the pigments he uses do not harm his body. This pencil shoots small pieces of ignited paper through the air. Its creators say it is not dangerous since the flame is extinguished almost immediately. On social media, there is an account called Only Survivor, where Javier, its creator, says that he lives in another dimension and is the only inhabitant on Earth. He has visited places that are normally full of people like the Vatican or the Roman Colosseum. His followers even ask him to visit certain places to prove that he is alone. Apparently, he has the economic resources to close the places or has advanced skills in video editing. The zoetrope is an optical machine that rotates a series of static images through a circular movement. As a result, a moving sequence can be seen. Sea lions are extremely social animals and have a very developed communication system. They use a variety of sounds, from barks to growls and whistles, to communicate with other members of their group. This system allows them to coordinate activities such as hunting and defending their territory. Are you curious to know what time people are usually happiest? The happiest time for people is 7 in the evening. Apparently, catnip is just as effective with wild cuts. The felines react in a peculiar way by smelling it. The anti-gravity lamp uses the stroboscopic effect to create an optical illusion of levitating water. When water drops are illuminated with intermittent light at a precise frequency, they appear to move slowly or float upwards, although they are actually constantly falling. This effect is achieved in a dark environment where the frequency of the light flash deceives the human eye. It is an ingenious scientific trick that turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. The nurse shark, also known as Gymnostoma serratum, is known for its calm and sedentary behavior. This shark can often be found on the seabed, remaining still for long periods due to its ability to breathe without the need to constantly swim. This species feeds by sucking on small crustaceans and other benthic organisms, which allows it to save energy. Meet Rochelle Maritz, a student who managed to develop a method for printing photos on algae. This neuroscience student has just taken experimental photography to another level. To print her photos, she used a technique to block the light in some parts of the algae. When doing photosynthesis, the plants take on a different color in the areas that are blocked from the light, creating a sharp image in different shades of green. This printing method merges art, science, and nature. In Switzerland, if you have a dog, you must register it and pay a tax for it. The tax varies according to the size and weight of the dog, as well as the location where you reside. Dog owners collectively spend about $65 million a year on dog taxes in Switzerland. That is $160 per dog per year. Musical roads were created to keep drivers within speed limits. These roads produce a melody when the tires of cars pass over them at the correct speed. For their construction, the asphalt is perforated in specific patterns that generate different sounds. This type of road can be found in several countries. This new system, called Honda Riding Assist, allows the motorcycle to stand on its own and move without the need for a driver. The phenomenon known as the Koppelsch's effect occurs when the propellers of a helicopter produce rings of light when they collide with particles of sand dispersed in the air. This effect is named after Benjamin Kopp and Joseph Etchels, two former U.S. Army soldiers. The friction between the sand particles and the helicopter blades generates a luminous circle around the propellers, creating a spectacular and amazing optical illusion. These images show forests of macroalgae, aquatic organisms essential for the planet. These forests generate oxygen and contribute to 50% of oceanic photosynthesis, helping to mitigate global warming. Macroalgae can be consumed in various culinary preparations, with nori seaweed being well known for its use in sushi. Their role in the ecosystem and in gastronomy is invaluable. Premature babies have a higher chance of being left-handed compared to full-term babies. This could be due to fetal hypoxia, a hypothesis supported by the high percentage of left-handers among twins and premature babies. However, the belief that being left-handed is due to mechanical brain injuries in the uterus or during birth is not supported by solid scientific evidence. The American Max Park, the speed-cubing legend, has already broken the emblematic record for the fastest time to solve a 3x3 rotating cube. The 21-year-old achieved an astonishing time of 3.13 seconds, beating the previous record title, which was set by the Chinese Yuxing Du in 2018, by 34 seconds. The last live concert of the Beatles took place on August 29, 1966 at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. Of the 42,500 available seats, only 25,000 tickets were sold. At that time, no one knew that it would be their last massive concert and one of their last live performances. These headphones offer an innovative solution for instant translation. These devices allow two people to place an earbud in each ear and converse in different languages, while the automatic translator works in real time. This brings simultaneous translation technology that was previously only seen in television programs, conferences, or parliaments, directly to the user's pockets. The pufferfish contains a toxin called tetrodotoxin, which is one of the most potent neurotoxins known and is 100 times more toxic than cyanide. This toxin can withstand the cooking process and is found in many Oriental dishes, especially in Japan. In 2020, the story of Georgia became known, of a rescued dog who lost her puppies and then became the mother of some orphaned kittens. Georgia, an Australian Shepherd mix, was rescued by Sunshine Dog Rescue on the border between Mexico and the United States. After arriving at the animal shelter, the caregivers discovered that she was pregnant, but unfortunately the puppies were born prematurely and died. The founder of the sanctuary asked for help to find animals that needed a mother, and that's how 3 orphaned kittens arrived, who created a great bond with Georgia. Amphibious vehicles exist and are capable of operating both on land and in water. They can be bicycles, cars, boats, and even military vehicles. In addition, there are hovercraft that also have this capacity. In many tourist places, amphibious buses are used to offer tours both on land and in water, providing a unique experience for visitors. It is possible to boil water in a paper cup, as the water absorbs the heat, preventing the cup from reaching a temperature high enough to burn. However, if you put the paper cup alone without water, it will quickly charge. Salmon get their pink color from the pigments they accumulate from their main food source, crustaceans like shrimp and krill. This process is similar to that of flamingos, whose pink plumage comes from the carotenoids in their diet. In 2016, scientists at the Netherlands Cancer Institute announced the discovery of a new organ in the human throat called the tubarial glands. This organ is located in the nasopharynx and may have implications for the diagnosis and treatment of cancer. This finding surprised the medical community, as human anatomy was considered to be widely explored. Car tires are made of rubber, a material resistant to high temperatures and road irregularities. Normally, tires have between 14 and 16 kilograms of air pressure and must support the weight of the vehicle and passengers. This pressure allows the tires to deform slightly when passing over obstacles, guaranteeing a safer and more comfortable ride. The water-lily turbine is an innovative mobile charger ideal for outdoor trips. This device converts wind and hydraulic energy into electricity, allowing you to charge your devices with the speed of an outlet. You just have to throw it into a river or let the wind blow it to generate energy. In addition, it has a manual crank to generate electricity in the absence of wind or current. It is a practical and efficient solution to keep your devices charged during your adventures in nature. The Vulcan 2 3D printer, developed by the company Icon, uses a material called lavacrete, which is a semi-liquid concrete compound. This printer has proven to be capable of building homes of approximately 35 square meters in just 24 hours. In addition, the company ensures that larger constructions can be made in record time. Scientific studies have shown that stress can activate the sympathetic nervous system, which in turn can damage the hair follicles responsible for producing hair color. When we are subjected to pressure situations, a chemical is released that alters the level of pigment reserved for our hair, which can lead to the appearance of gray hair. The Greenland shark is the longest living known vertebrate, with a life expectancy that can reach 400 years. Specimens of up to 512 years have been recorded. They live at depths of up to 2,000 meters where the temperature is around 0 degrees, which slows down their metabolism. This contributes to their longevity. Greenland sharks do not reach maturity until they are approximately 150 years old. The Gulfstream 700, presented in 2019, is one of the largest and most luxurious private jets in the world. Developed by Gulfstream Aerospace Corporation, it has a spacious cabin and luxurious facilities, including numerous seats and rooms for resting. With a maximum speed of 1,150 kilometers per hour, it saves time on long-range flights. The 700 began operating in 2022 and has stood out for its exceptional size and comfort. Kangaroos have an incredible ability to conserve water and energy while jumping long distances. Due to their powerful hind legs, they can travel long distances without having to stop to rest. In addition, their metabolism is adapted to extract the maximum amount of water from the food they consume, which allows them to survive in the harsh desert climates of Australia without the need to constantly drink water. S-Bottle is an innovative bottle made of biodegradable soap, designed by Jonah Britton-Huber. This container is soluble in water, which makes it an ecological alternative to plastic. Once the original content has been used, the bottle can be used as hand soap or transformed into detergent. The Hungarian artist Sylvia Herrick creates fantastic sculptures with stones. She has an incredible talent for combining rocks of different sizes and colors, recreating scenes full of life. Herrick strategically arranges the pebbles to shape beautiful works of art. She uses the stones in their natural state without modifying their structure. She only cleans them. The result is amazing and shows her respect for nature. The lines or trails that airplanes leave in the sky, known as contrails, are composed mainly of water in the form of ice crystals. These trails form when the water vapor in the plane's exhaust condenses and freezes. This sport, called combat juggling, combines juggling with fighting. Participants must retain their instruments while trying to knock them out of their opponent's hands. This exciting discipline requires skill, balance, and strategy. Enciso, a charming town in La Rioja, Spain, is a true treasure for dinosaur lovers. Surrounded by mountainous landscapes and vineyards, this small rural town stands out for its amazing collection of dinosaur footprints. The sights of Enciso attract visitors from all over the world, marveling at these prehistoric footprints. These are the FlexStep, an innovative solution that combines a wheelchair lift with conventional stairs. Through a button, users can choose whether they want to use the stairs or the lift, depending on their needs. These stairs allow people with reduced mobility, such as wheelchair users, to move comfortably without having to face the inconveniences of traditional stairs. FlexStep represents a significant advance in accessibility and convenience for everyone. The smallest turtle in the world is Mexican and is called the Vallarta blotch turtle. It has a size below 10 centimeters, a shell that is wider than it is tall, and the males are characterized by having a dermal plate that looks like a yellow spot on their nose. They also differ from females by their tail, which is longer. Located in cold Russian Siberia, Oymyakon is famous for being one of the coldest inhabited places in the world. Winter temperatures can drop to -50 degrees Celsius or more. Although in summer temperatures can reach 15 degrees Celsius, the annual average is significantly low. This remote settlement is a testament to human resilience in the face of extreme weather conditions. Blurry tattoos are a recent trend in the world of tattooing. These designs create a visual effect that simulates a camera error or double vision and have gained popularity on social media. This packaging machine at the Duke's Mayonnaise factory moves so fast and at a uniform speed that it creates this amazing optical illusion. The South Korean company Prinker has developed an innovative digital printer that allows temporary tattooing of the skin and temporary dyeing of hair in a matter of seconds. This technology can adorn people's skin or hair. In an emergency, all available water belongs to the fire department, even the water in your pool. In critical situations, firefighters can use any accessible water resource to fight fires and save lives. The word istan comes from Old Persian and means land. Therefore, country names such as Pakistan, Uzbekistan, and Afghanistan translate as land of the Pakistanis, land of the Uzbeks, and land of the Afghans, respectively. Narbis has created smart glasses that darken if the wearer gets distracted. These glasses use sensors to measure brain activity and determine the user's state of concentration and relaxation. When they are concentrated, the glasses remain clear, but if they get distracted, they darken, thus helping to improve attention and focus. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe so you don't miss more interesting content. Leave your comments and click on any of these videos. See you next time.